I wanted cheeks from when I was a young man.
A young man?
A young man. So this was definitely on purpose. What's
Hey,
up,
y'all?
YouTube? Welcome back to the channel.
Today, we've got something pretty interesting for y'all. How the both of us married as virgins. He was 24, I robbed the cradle, y'all. I had just turned 25.
I was 23.
You were 23.
Yes.
I really robbed the cradle. And as y'all can see, he's pretty fine. So we're gonna talk about spiritually and practically. How did we really do it? Making it to marriage as virgins. And also, was it really worth it? So you have to stick around to the end to find out.
First things first, we just want to go ahead and, before we get into this meaty topic.
And it is meaty. Wait a minute. Whoa. Whoa. Pause.
Abstain from the meat.
Wow. I'm sorry, y'all. I cannot. Proceed.
I just thought of an analogy. It's kind of like being vegan until you're married. No meat for you until you're married. And I guess no meat cheeks for me until I was married. It's waiting for meat until you're married.
Wow. First of all, I think vegans would object to that.
Probably.
Second of all, too much. Okay, moving on.
What are we even talking about?
Like and subscribe.
Oh, guys, we want to go ahead and invite you to like and subscribe and hit the bell notification icon if you haven't already. That way you just never miss a beat. You can hear all our wonky, crazy conversations and our life experiences. We're a family channel.
If you want more content about family, including marriage and relationships, business, healthy lifestyle, or faith, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a video. And remember, y'all, when you subscribe, leave us a comment saying I subscribed, and we would love to reach out to you personally and thank you for joining the family. As y'all know, every week we shout out one of our subscribers, whether someone new or someone that is consistent with giving us feedback in the comments. So today we want to shout out Chris.
What up, Chris?
Thank you so much, Chris, for being such a positive member of the Brawley Story family, leaving us great feedback. We appreciate you.
We appreciate you, bro.
All right, so how we married as virgins, how do we make it?
Well, it was definitely on purpose. That's for
Right.
sure.
It wasn't because we're those gamers that don't know any actual people in the flesh.
Guys, there are real people out there that are virgins, not for any...
No offense if that's you.
Hey, no hate. But there are people that are out there that are virgins because they're too afraid to interact with the opposite sex in person. Not for any spiritual reasons, not for any higher level of reasoning, they just don't interact with the other sex enough. God bless you. God bless you.
But yeah, we didn't have any social anxiety or any problems talking to the opposite sex. It was very much so intentional.
Absolutely.
But,
and I wanted cheeks from when I was a young man. A young man.
A young man?
A young man. Very young man. So this was definitely on purpose. Let's just put it that way.
So the first way that we achieved this feat is we got married quick, y'all. You cannot wait an indefinite amount of time for something
Yes, for sure.
that you're waiting for that is actually a physical need, according to what Maslow's law.
I think it is Maslow's, yeah.
You impressed?
Yeah, I am impressed, actually.
It's actually a proven basic human need. So to wait an indefinite amount of time is very unrealistic. It's just not feasible.
It's not feasible.
And we did not subscribe to the doctrine of no kissing until the altar.
You may kiss the bride.
Open your mouth. Now, I know some people that made it to marriage they just didn't kiss.
But we were not called to that ministry. We actually considered it. We talked about not kissing until our wedding day, and I was all for it.
She was like, what do you think? We need to talk. So the night that we got together, and if you guys want to hear us tell that story, which it was a circus.
Circus?
It was. If you want to know that story and
Bit of an
how that went, if you want storytelling, put it in the comments. She just gets embarrassed with her part of the
He's
story.
trying to throw me under the bus.
That same night, you know, my wife, who was then not my girlfriend, but the woman I decided I was going to marry, she said to me, well, what do you think about, you know, not kissing before married? You know, some people are doing that these days.
I didn't say some people are doing that
This is a
these
paraphrase.
days. I
don't know exactly
I
what you said,
feel
'cause
that
it
there
was-
was a lot of sexual tension between us, and I thought that it might make it easier to stay holy until marriage.
We both knew we were staying holy no matter what. She thought it would be cool. She thought it would be
That is
trendy.
not true. First of all, yes,
thought it was gonna be
yes,
cool.
I did already know that we were definitely, both of us had our minds made up before we met each other that
That's
we
correct.
were gonna wait. So I knew we were gonna do it, but I thought it might make it easy. My mom, she calls it the sleeping giant. When you awaken the sleeping giant, that giant gets bigger and bigger and bigger until you reach the peak called sexual frustration. So I was trying to keep.
It's bigger and bigger and bigger until you reach the peak.
I was.
What kind of children's story is this?
What?
Mama, what was you talking about?
Wow. Anyway, we got the
That'll
analogy.
be banned. This is
To the
banned.
pure, all things are pure. So we got the analogy in purity, and that was my way of suggesting how we keep our giant sleeping.
She thought it would be cute.
That is not true.
And she was like, so we need to
Not
discuss boundaries. my wife is a mentor for a lot of young girls on how to, you know, live abstinent and celibate lives. And so she was trying to talk that bull junk to me, that mentor babble bull.
Babble bull.
Babble bull. And she
Wow.
says,
This is what he thinks of my ministry?
I'm just saying, she was saying to me, and it is actually good stuff, but
Yeah,
she
it's
was,
very good
it's actually good stuff. I'm being funny right now, but she kept saying to me, so we need to discuss boundaries. I mean, we don't even have to kiss. What do you think about that? You know, what do you think about that? And I was like, I mean, I know some people that have done that, and I thought about it.
And he said he would think about it. He said
Yeah,
he would
so I'll think
consider
about it.
And then he kissed me later that night.
I kissed her like not long after that. It was like right after that.
I was in shock.
It's like, there's no way I'm going into this game like that. So I kissed
Like,
her.
what the?
She was in shock, and I'll tell you that story. It's very embarrassing. If you want it,
Oh, we're
put it in the
definitely not
comments.
telling that story.
We're telling the
Definitely
story.
not.
If you want to hear the story about our first kiss, very funny.
There's no
Put it in the comments.
way.
I got you.
No way.
Anyway, it was hilarious because she was like, yeah, we can do this. I'm like, I gotta just go ahead and kiss this girl and lock it down and make sure she knows what type of relationship this is. This is not a platonic relationship. So
He was very adamant about not being in the friend zone, which wasn't going to happen anyway because we just already had that special chemistry from the beginning.
I had to make sure that I was stoking the flames.
Stoking the flames.
Stoking. Stoking.
You're ridiculous.
Yeah, I knew what it was. So anyway, that's neither here nor there. So we had a high level of sexual chemistry. We still did not have sex or anything like it until we were married.
So yeah, the first way was getting married quickly.
And when you
because-
stoke those flames, you're gonna want to get married quickly. I'm not saying you should stoke the flames, guys. That's not my advice. It was what we did as far as kissing in that regard. But my point is, if you are not having sex and you're highly attracted to one another, you're gonna get married. You're gonna get married.
So originally, when he asked me when I wanted to get married, this was May or June?
May.
And I said the following spring. And then I asked him ideally when he would want to get married. He said he would like to get married in 6 months.
No, that's not
And
true
then
at all.
my mom said December, which happened to be 6 months
This
from
is
when
not
we
true.
had that conversation.
I did say to her I was cool with 6 months. Her parents suggested it first.
Our relationship was moving a little quickly for a year.
I still thought it was gonna be a year.
But anyway, we both ended up being very, very happy that we scheduled our wedding for as soon as what we did because it helped us to reach
Tremendously.
our goal without being frustrated for as long.
Because it was definitely hard.
It was hard.
It was definitely hard. But we made it through. But it was a sweet release once we got married. December the 5th, 2015. Sweet release.
All right. The second way that we made it as virgins until marriage was our why. Our why was very strong.
Very strong.
We were both very convicted well before we ever met each other. Mm-hmm. So it didn't matter how fine he was. It didn't matter how smooth he was. What mattered was that we both already had our minds made up.
We had conviction.
Honestly, I truly believed that I would be struck by lightning.
You better stop that!
She did believe that, which is crazy.
I believed I would be struck by lightning and I would die after I was shamed.
Well, of course, this is only fitting that after you're shamed that you die. I guess. She did believe that craziness. I don't know why she did. But we both believe very strongly in just living for God and using our bodies as a temple for Him and for His glory.
We both were so strongly convicted because we both have such a passion to honor God with our lives, not just in the ways that are convenient or the ways that are easy, but as a disciple of Christ, that requires discipline of our flesh.
Yeah.
And so no matter the level of sacrifice in order to be pleasing to God, be honoring to Him, live a life of worship unto Him, it was very important to us that we keep our temples pure and set apart for God.
And it's a blessing that when you're dating someone and courting someone that is on the same page. I once dated a girl that laughed at me so hard. So I was dating this girl, and I was like, I'm saving myself to marriage. And she was like, all right, that's cool. We could do X, Y, Z. I was like, nah, I'm a virgin. She said, okay, that's fine. And then I said, well, and I'm not planning on having sex. And she was like, until when? And I was like, marriage. And she was like, marriage, my end? Marriage, my Negro? That was one of the most hilarious conversations I ever had in my life. And I told her yes. And I knew she wasn't a good fit for me, so I was actually kind of glad that she
disqualified herself.
And I was apparently disqualified from her. And she was like, marriage, my Negro? It was hilarious. But anyway, it definitely helps to have the right partner. So that's a point that we didn't put in our thing, but it just kind of came to me. But it helps to have that strong why for both of you.
Exactly, and it helps to provide accountability. So our why being to honor God, being also like when two become one through sex, you actually do have a transfer of spirits. Your souls are tied together. So it's like we wanted that to be with one person.
Sure.
And sometimes we even joke around now like that's the soul tie right there because I have some things that I didn't used to have, like even ways that I think or ways that I feel that came from him and vice versa. Just how spiritual sex is. We wanted to do that in the context that God created it, only in marriage, and let that blood covenant be the way that God intended for it to be because it is covenant. So we take that very, very seriously. And we know that it's a hard thing to do. It's not a common thing to do.
No.
But that was our offering to God of our obedience to His word.
That's right.
Another reason why that kept me, accountability. That was another why for me. Y'all, my mama would be texting me while we'd be hanging out. It could be late at night and she'd be like, "You keeping it holy?" Always giving that reminder, "You keeping it holy?" And then she would send me a whole paragraph. So even if we were in a romantic mood, she would take me totally out of it because I'd be reading this long paragraph, all these scriptures about holiness. Even when I first started dating, when I would come home after a date, she would ask me about every detail of this date. She would ask about kissing and touching and every question. There was nothing that was off limits. So sometimes I would be thinking, I don't want to have to admit that I did this, so I just won't. And accountability can go a really long way. It did go a really long way for me. So thanks, Mom. You made it a lot easier.
And also, my boys used to text me and call me too. Hey, bro, it's time to go. I'm like, listen, dude, if I haven't left by 11:30, give me a call. If I don't pick up, call again. If I don't pick up, call again. If I don't pick up, call again.
So get an accountability partner.
Yeah.
My twin sister was also my accountability partner. So we would talk about the details of our dates and everything that happened and try to keep each other on track.
Wait a second. Did you subscribe yet? If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and click the button right now. That way you don't forget.
Don't have to worry about forgetting.
And you'll never miss a video. And hit the bell notification too, because that will alert you whenever we drop something new. That hot fire.
That's right.
Now back to your regularly scheduled program.
The third way that we made it was boundaries. Establishing boundaries.
That's important. Extremely important.
He mentioned that we talked about that on one of our dates very early on before we kissed, because boundaries are so important. We talked through what are the things that press our buttons, what turns you on, what turns me on. Let's not do all of these things. Let's not get to a point where we feel like we're at a point of no return. So a lot of people, they call themselves virgins. They do a lot of things. A lot of things that...
And not just virgins, celibate people too.
Right. People that are celibate. They'll be taking showers together. They'll be cuddling naked in the bed.
That's wild to
They'll
take
be
the showers together.
Cohabitating. They'll even partake in oral activities. And even
I don't know any
anal
virgins that do a lot of the
activities.
stuff you talking about, because you ain't gonna be a virgin long. If you're doing the stuff you talking about.
I'm telling you,
you
celibate-
can't live with somebody that you like.
celibate
You
people.
can't live with someone you don't like and think you're gonna still be a virgin. I mean, you live with them.
People that say that they're trying to be celibate, they do a lot of things, and it makes it nearly impossible. It makes it not feasible.
It's not feasible at all.
So we had to get married quick. We had a really strong why, and we created clear boundaries that we both agreed to.
Yeah, we wasn't doing a lot of stuff.
So even if we're in the moment and we're getting all hot and steamy, we have to remind each other, wait a minute, we said we weren't going to do that right
Why
there.
when you got hot and steamy, you slapped my
let's
face
stop.
like that? It was all extra hard.
I wasn't slapping your face. I was rubbing your face with passion.
Is that what you call it?
Yes. I see the passion.
Why is it? You got the thunder grip.
The thunder grip. That's how you grab me. You don't realize how strong you are.
It definitely ain't on purpose. You was like using everything you got.
I want to make sure you could feel it.
Oh, I feel it.
The fourth way that we made it was healthy anticipation.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we were anticipating what was going to be done in the future.
So you make it fun, like something that you're looking forward to.
It's like, oh my God, girl. I don't want to say it. I'm on camera.
So think
My
about
mother watches this channel. I can't say it.
Think about when you're planning something awesome for your birthday, you're not gonna partake in that 2 months early because you just can't wait. You're like, I can't wait till my birthday. And it's
Right.
almost like a game. You're just excited, just waiting for this. You think about it, you talk about it, and you make a thing out of anticipating that activity or that gift.
Right.
So you don't want to unwrap that gift early because it will spoil it, It would take some of the fun out of it to open your birthday gift early. So that healthy anticipation.
Yeah, it's a key. It's important. You want some anticipation. You don't want it to be just stale, because then that would suck. So you want to anticipate. You want to still have that tension going. And then when you're married, release. Relief.
But you cannot entertain conversation of opening that gift early.
Yeah, you can't do that. That's dangerous.
No, that's very dangerous. And that's one thing that we never did. We never actually talked about or even considered opening that present early. It was not an option for us.
No.
It was not an option. Some people say that they need to test out the milk before buying the cow. And they think also there's this misconception that virgins are gonna know absolutely nothing about.
Oh, they're gonna suck. Yeah.
Yeah, about how to actually have an enjoyable experience. But on the contrary, chemistry is chemistry. We had no question.
And it's very natural.
It is very natural. It's very natural. But we had no question about whether or not we had the sexual chemistry to have a good experience. Then you have the rest of your life to grow with that person
and learn what they like and what they don't like.
And then stats prove. Haven't we looked at some stats about people that waited and how they actually have a even better sex life?
They do. Yeah, that is a statistic. People that wait until they're married to have sex tend to be more satisfied with their sex. And lastly, guys.
Last but not least.
Absolutely very vital. It was key to our success was get married quick. Oh, it sounds very familiar. Sounds like the first point. It's very important. It is the first and the last. The beginning and the end. Get married quick.
Right.
That helps you to marry as a virgin.
Can't wait forever now.
Or celibate, whatever you're doing. Get married quick. You got a 3-year engagement, somebody's getting cheeks.
So, was it worth it? Was it worth the wait?
Was it worth it to you?
Was it worth the wait?
Was it worth it to you?
It was absolutely worth it.
It was worth it to me too. It was worth it. And I'm grateful because after the fact, you know, there's a lot of opportunities, a lot of other people before, and I thank God that I didn't take any of them because now that I'm with my wife, I'm glad that these are the memories I have and not others. Let's just put it that way. And I'm grateful because she was worth all of it.
Oh, that's real sweet. You were worth the wait as well, and it was beautiful. It was.
What was beautiful?
The opening of the present.
Beautiful. That is not the word that I would ever use to describe. But
it was.
okay.
I mean, it was like, wow, you know, thank you, Lord. All right, guys. I know we're being silly, but the primary reason it was worth it was that it felt absolutely amazing to honor God in this way, to only have sex in the context that God designed it for, in the covenant of marriage. It felt great to know that God was pleased with the way we approach dating and saving sex for marriage.
Guys, that's our story. Thanks for joining us again. Wow, interesting. It's been beautiful. This is how we married as virgins. If you haven't already, please make sure that you like, subscribe, hit the bell notification icon. Let me know if you want those stories on Christy. I got you. Put it in the comments. Just real rap. Put it there. I got you.
When you subscribe, make sure you leave us a comment saying, I subscribed, and we'll be more than happy to reach out to you personally and thank you for joining the family. Leave us a comment if you guys have questions. I know there's a lot of misconceptions about this idea of celibacy. Let us know your questions below.
All right, y'all. Till next time. Peace.